I have some of your original pieces, or
Like
maybe
earlier,
original, but this is 2014, 15 maybe, when we met and you gave me a few, and I still have them. And they feel like relics compared to what you're making now, but it's also really interesting to reflect on the journey.
Yeah.
But you didn't always imagine that you would be a jeweller, right? Can you give a quick summary of your career or how you came to be?
So basically, I was living in Paris, doing my master's, sort of doing what I thought I should be doing. So my master's, and then I would go into my career and I would live happily ever after. And then as life would have it, that didn't pan out. So I went to Istanbul for 2 weeks and I just fell in love. I felt an instant connection with the place, and also just an energy that I hadn't felt in a while, which inspired me to go back and forth between Paris and Istanbul for the next year. And I was sourcing vintage, or antique, I should say, jewellery in Istanbul and then selling it in Paris. And I started to do better doing that than I was earning a salary in Paris.
Just to friends, like as a hobby or an interest? Or?
Sort of, yeah. It sort of just like started as like, I sort of had this like little website blog thing. I can't even remember what it was called, to be honest. And then people were following that, and then they would just buy via that platform, like very old internet days. Pre-Shopify. And then, so that's sort of how it started. And then I guess then wanting to leave that sort of life I'd set up for myself in Paris and go and just sort of go a little bit rogue and just leave everything. I didn't have a lot of money, obviously. It was very early 20s and I sort of just finished my studies. So then I just learnt with artisans in the bazaar, but it was all like, none of it was planned. And I didn't at the time think either this is going to be a business. I just was like, I want to learn how to make jewellery and I needed to survive. So some pieces I would sell. I was also teaching English in Istanbul, and learning Turkish at the same time. So I was very busy. But then I think just like following that, it gave me some kind of drive to learn more, which then led to the, I guess, the brand starting.
And so at what point did the creation of Cleopatra's Bling as a brand and business happen? Were you working another job alongside when you were first selling some of these pieces?
I was just teaching English privately. Yeah. So I was doing that. It was a very hand-to-mouth situation.
Yeah.
I didn't have savings, so I was just, I guess, living day to day. And then I think someone at some point said to me, like, you should, open a website, start a website, and you'll have to call this project of yours something. I actually don't remember who told me that. And at the time, I just thought, well, Cleopatra's Bling, it's a bit of, like, it's tongue-in-cheek. Like, I didn't ever think this is going to be your career. And then Cleopatra, I mean, being a symbol of the East, but also a strong woman. And then Bling being a symbol of the West, like a phrase coined in the West. Istanbul is considered the bridge between the East and the West. So I sort of just made that link between learning jewellery in Istanbul and that sort of tongue-in-cheek name.
Yeah.
But then I get a lot of feedback I got at the time, and I still do, that it's an unforgettable name. And then it just sort of stuck, because by the time, the brand was growing, it's like, then it's sort of not right to change the name because people associate that with the nostalgia of the beginnings.
Totally.
So, so that's how it started.
And